GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
GUVI, a vernacular edutech brand, skilling everyone everywhere.
Hello and welcome to Galata Plus. In this video review episode, we're going to be talking about Gautham Vasudev Menon's Joshua. The film is an underwhelming affair, unfortunately. It's an action B movie with no pulp thrills. Ime Pol Kaka. That's the tagline for Gautham Vasudev Menon's new movie. This is Joshua. The tagline sounds so poetic, something right out of the Maruvartej song from one of this director's own earlier movies. That line went, Ime Pol Nan Kaka Kanavai Ni Maridu. That lyric happened when Dhanush cradled and comforted a distraught Mega Akash. There is a similar dynamic in this movie. Varun as Joshua is the Dhanush equivalent, the protector. Rahe as Kundavi is the woman in distress. Sadly, this time the poetry is missing. So, okay, you say, this is an action movie. Who needs poetry? But we do, because the entire emotional hook of the narrative is based on these two characters falling in love, and the more we feel their poetry, the more we'd want them to be together. There is an interesting, well-staged, no-fuss stretch at the beginning where Joshua and Kundavi meet and talk and fall into bed, and then he begins to speak about his past and things rapidly go south. Now, this is not a knock on Varun. There are great action B movies made with the likes of Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme and Chuck Norris, and none of them could act to save their life. Varun is tall, he's athletic, the action scenes have a nice economy of movement to them, and Varun carries them off well. But when it comes to the romantic portions, he shows you why Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme and Chuck Norris were not usually saddled with love scenes or a lot of backstory either. Varun is a contract killer and he narrates a flashback about his mother. It does not register at all. There is another flashback about a childhood friend. That does not register either. The villain unmasked at the end, that man says something about why he's doing what he's doing, and that too does not register. Joshua is filled with ideas that could have gone somewhere. D.D. Neelakantan, in a weakly written part, plays Joshua's handler, and like everyone else in the film who lives abroad, she lands up in Chennai just because. The apparent reason is that the US-based Kundavi's life is in danger from a Mexican drug lord, and they decide that the best way to protect her is to send her to Namma Chennai. And what happens when Kundavi meets Joshua after rejecting him because he is a contract killer and now discovering that he's become a bodyguard? Her bodyguard. Nothing. Not a word about what happened, what she went through, what her feelings are about being protected by a former killer. Even if he is a killer she loved. Mansoor Ali Khan and Vichitra show up for some time, for some reason, and so does Krishna. We keep asking the question over and over. Why, Gautham? Why? The great pleasures of the action B movie are the pulp thrills, but though the action stretches here aren't bad, they don't give you that pulp high. Everything plays out like they shot the rehearsals, even the dramatic bits. The same premise could have worked with pulpy lines, pulpy plot twists, pulpy attitude, but Gautham treats this material seriously. He treats the romance seriously, like in a trademark Gautham Vasudev Menon movie. He treats the hasty climax seriously. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but if he wanted to go in that direction, he needed a much better cast and much better plotting and writing. After an attack, Joshua tells Kundavi, don't let me die. It's painful to watch Varun and Rahe try and bring some poignancy into this scenario. Joshua, like Vedit Anindadakadu, shows Gautham breaking away from the trademarks that defined him and his films, but this film needed more clarity. It needed a lot of other things as well, but the lack of clarity about what it wants to be and what it can be with this cast is what hampers it the most. And that's it about Joshua. If you like this video review, do subscribe to Galata Plus and see you soon at the movies.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
GUVI, a vernacular edutech brand, skilling everyone everywhere.